What's up, people? Welcome to this Friday live from By the Hood. I'm your host as always. My name is Jimmy, aka Carl Robeson today. You know what I'm saying? One of my many aliases. Um, for those tuning in for the first time, this is our Friday show where we get together with people in our community. Also, just a chance for me and Corey to kick it and talk about some of the things going on. Sometimes we have guests on Friday, sometimes we don't. Talk about what's going on in the market, talk about some investing, just to have a free flowing conversation and talk about black wealth because that's our thing, right? What's good, Core?
Man, I'm chilling, man. I give, I live in thanks, man. Every day I get up, every day I'm able to do the work that we do, man. It's a good day, man. It's just I'm living good days. That's it. That's
That's
all, man.
that's that's beautiful, man. That's beautiful, man. So it's been a good week for you in terms of business wise, in terms of the market, what you things you got going on. How was this week?
Uh, it started off as a recovery week, and then them Jones just took a dumb dip at the end of the week again. So, my positions is still the same because they're
Hmm.
so long. I haven't gotten in any new positions. I've resisted the urge to getting into any new positions, and so I just been riding out the positions that I have because
Okay.
I'm not putting no more money into the market. I'm gonna let the market do what it do, and put my money back in my hands before I get into any new position. There's no FOMO on this side because I know the market gonna provide plenty of opportunities for me to go grab some dough whenever my money is recouped.
That's a great point, man. For those who haven't seen our most recent podcast, it was a powerful episode with the brother Antonio Eubanks. I watched it myself a couple times, and one of the things that he kept talking about, and I said, man, that's a gem, is that this whole idea of FOMO. He's like, yo, listen, there's going to be so many opportunities, right? If you miss on this one, it'll be the next one. You're sad about this IPO, don't worry, there will be another one. Like there's an unlimited amount of opportunities within the market, and so as I was watching it back, I wrote that down. I was like, yeah, Antonio was right about that. That was definitely a bar, and so shout out to him for one for sharing his time with us. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about, you can go to our YouTube channel, listen to it on your podcast. It's the most recent episode. Is episode 71. Is with Antonio Eubanks, which is a brother who's been trading. He's been trading for 20 plus years, and he dropped a lot of gems in terms of what he does, how he does it, and things of that nature. So any other things that you did this week outside of the market? You do anything with crypto, real estate? What else did you got
Yeah,
going on?
yeah, yeah, yeah. With crypto, my normal I got, the pre-buys that come straight out my account. So I grabbed some of that. So I got some crypto. I got some I started grabbing oh man, what's the name of that coin? Uh
Don't tell me Uniswap.
no, I didn't grab no day. Whatever, man. I'm not into the coin of the day. Um
You stay away from the alt, or should I say shit coins? Listen, man, shout out to our community, man. Like and Rich, who's probably watching this, man, he hit me up and was like, yo, they're giving away free Uniswap. And I'm like, listen, man, I'm like Clay Davis, man. I take anybody money, they're giving it away. But then he made me realize that you had to have used it before in order to get some. Like, so that's something I try to stay away from alts as much as I want to, because them joints are a trap to me.
yeah,
But I thought that was
not
a
not that they're a trap. I haven't spent enough time in the space to be tracking, tracking what coin is good and what's not good, and so I stay with the coins that I've researched and I put the time in. So I'm working on not being impulsive with my buys, man, and so that's what I've been doing, man, because I realized that the time is the thing that makes you rich with these investments. It's not the actual investment. The actual investments are what make you rich, but the
no,
time
you listen, you got
the
it,
time
man.
in those investments is the thing that makes you that gives you prosperity and richness. Like so that's why my no FOMO instead of we ain't saying the no H word but the no FOMO. That's my new
No, no, but you're right about the time thing, man. Because again, I was telling you about some data that I was looking at. This was a little while ago, and I was looking at data over like the last the last 20-year period. And I was looking at everything. I looked at, like, you know, although crypto wasn't that long, how long it's been around. I was looking at crypto. I was looking at real estate. I was looking at bonds. I was looking at precious metals. And as I was going down the chart, I was like, you know, some perform better than others. I was like, but over this the last 20-year period, if you grab anything, if you literally grab anything and just held on to it, you be up. And that's when it hit me, you know, what you just said. I'm like, you know, you can have your argument about what asset class is better than the other. And to me, it's all about lifestyle design, what works best for you. But the fact of the matter is, if you look over a 20-year period, you would have been up in all of them. But it's just that discipline and understanding that becoming a long-term investor, which is part of what we're going to talk about tonight. But I was saying salute to our community because like Rich hit me up. And, you know what I mean? It's just like I get put on money so much by other people.
I definitely got a text message about the Uniswap, but I was you know, I said, listen, man, maybe me not doing it and leave some free money out there for somebody else. Because I'm on a whole. I'm not even
talking about Uniswap. I just want to give a shout out to all of our community, even the people watching right now, because I got put on so much bread over the last couple of years, just as we build our community.
All day, every day.
People just reach out like, yo, Jay hit us with a play yesterday. Like, hit us up like, yo, you ever think about this? Like, those kind of things are very important. Like, you know, shout out to Spoon. Spoon will hit me up like, yo, look at this. Or, you know, Rich hit me up with the coin. You know, Russell will shoot me an inbox. So we have like a whole community of folks, you know what I'm saying, that share the information, which I think is powerful because, again, investing as a group is different than doing everything by yourself, man. So in terms of what I did this week, I didn't do any options because I was in the process. Like, so where I hold my DraftKings at, well, I'll be transparent. I had my DraftKings. I had a couple hundred shares of DraftKings, and I had it in Robinhood. And the reason I had bought it in Robinhood because I bought it around the IPO time, and I just happened to have capital sitting in that account. So I copped it, but I did a transfer recently to put it into my main account at TD. So I'm waiting for that transfer to go through, which should be this week coming up. So I didn't even get to run cover calls in the man. It's a good thing I didn't. You know, we'll talk about what DraftKings did this week in a minute. So I didn't run any cover calls this week for the first time in several weeks because I was moving assets from one brokerage to another. And by the way, you don't have to move your account for watching. You could do a partial move. And in terms of how many accounts, I'm just being strategic in how I, apportion my stocks. So I did that, got some Ethereum, got some Bitcoin. That's pretty much. Oh yeah, I got a couple. I got them right here. I got 4 1-ounce silver coins. You know what I'm saying? These are Krugerrand from South Africa, from their mint. There's like, so I got a whole. You know what I'm saying? I got like 4 of them Johns. And for those watching, I'm doing a series on precious metals. I dropped one video already. I got another one dropping this Monday to talk about, the power of precious metals and using that as an asset class. So that's kind of what I got going on, man. But let's check in with the folks that's watching, man. We got we got the good brother Jose. Bless up, brothers. Peace, King. We got Don checking in. What's up, people? What's up, Don? Reese also checking in. What's good, Reese? How you? Jose got a question for you, Corey. He wants to know you still holding that forward, man.
I got some for covered calls that I've just been, clicking the button on and letting the cover calls run. So, but yeah, it's still there. It's just click the button, collect my couple dollars. For it's not a dividend stock no more, but it is for me. I just click the button on them and collect my dividends on them, Jones. So yeah, I still hold them, Jones.
Yeah, I'm sitting on a 2022 call for Ford that we all bought at one point as a joke. I know Malik got out of me, you, Malik, and Kamari all bought this call. It's funny, right? So, we tend to troll each other, but we actually troll each other with options contracts, which is funny in itself. So Kamari's a big Ford fan, so we all bought this options contract. This is a way to troll him. But I got like 5 or 6 of them joints, but they all the way out to like 2022. And I saw they're building an F-150 plant. You know what I'm saying? I thought it would have a little bit more movement than it did, but it did do a little movement. You know what I mean? It did the Macarena real quick, but nothing major though. Some stories I want to talk about, before we get into this whole long-term versus short-term investing. And for the folks out there watching, please do me a favor. Please hit the like button. hit the heart, share it. Just you know what I'm saying. Just help us out. But let's talk about Nikola, right? It's been a very popular stock in our groups, because of what's happening with Tesla and all that. I've been skeptical of Nikola the whole time. Like I shared a story with y'all before about like I don't mess with any company where you ain't making no bread, but your CEO is out spending bread all crazy. So I've been off
man.
of it.
My man bought a $30 million villa when the price ran up the first time. My man sold out of his shares and bought a $30 million villa. That
See,
told me everything I need to know.
And I said that on this show before. Like I don't mess with that. I don't mess with that, man. I don't mess with that. But what did you think about the news this week? Well, what happened this week? I know it was in the news. I saw the news for a couple things. Nothing good.
Somebody did like an expose on them, and basically, stripped them bare, talking about how they was fraud and they frauded on. They didn't have the powertrain on it. They said they truck really don't run. They don't have nothing that they said they had that was making the share price do the things it was doing. That share price was doing a straight run toward $100. And then, the expose came and that John just, rocked everything they was doing. Then the CEO got on there and basically said, yeah, we was fraud, but not in the way he said we was fraud. So it was just hella weird. You know what I mean? And so, boy, weirdo. No product, nothing to prove, nothing he said. So he basically was fraud. The thing is, the SEC on his ass because he wasn't like they wouldn't even bother him if he was defrauding people, but he was defrauding the shareholders. And so now the SEC on his ass, and now you know what I mean. He's sitting in a pile of hurt because he wanted to be, yeah, man. He's laying in a pile of hurt because he wanted to be Fraudy Krueger.
Here's what I will say about that, right? And again, we've been pointing this out for a little while to stay away from that. Well, at least I have. I said stay away from that company because I just don't trust it, man. When you out here and you using shareholder money to purchase mansions when you haven't sold one product yet. But that ties into our theme tonight, which is long-term investors versus short-term investors, or what we'll call a trader, right? And we're going to consistently beat this in you people's head, which is you got to build your long-term portfolio. I don't care if you're trading, you have to build it. But the one thing I will say about it is I've been spending a lot of time this past week, like reading 10Qs. And it's amazing the amount of information that you can get from reading the company's 10Q. It's one thing to go to Yahoo Finance, right? It's one thing to go to FinViz. But if you go to most of the companies, especially if it's a bigger company, and you go on their website and go into investor relations, you can pull up all sorts of documents. And, their skirt is pretty much lifted up at that point. So I've been reading a lot of 10Qs this past week, and I pretty much have every 10Q from every company I own. And one of the reasons that is because I tend not to hold too many companies at one time, right? And I learned that through talking to other successful investors. Shout out to everybody who took the Abacus courses and who are a member of the Abacus as well, because I know in those courses, what they teach is circle of 20, right?
Yeah, 20 at a time, man.
Yeah, hold 20. And the funny thing is, like, that's something I was already on, but I don't even hold 20. I hold less than that. But I think that's important because what's interesting to me is when people like buy these companies and buy these stocks and you talk to someone who's an investor and you ask them like, well, who's the CEO of that company? They can't tell you, right? And the reason they can't tell you is because they're spread so thin. They have, 450 companies. Like you putting one thing about fractional shares that open the market up, but I've seen people's portfolio where they have $5 of 400 different companies. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, come on, dog. At that point, you might as well just buy the S&P and chill. Like, what are you doing? But I think it's important to kind of read the data and information on these companies as you buy them. Treat them as if you're buying a small business. If you were buying a mom and pop store in the corner, you want to know who the owners are, who's running it, what's the inventory, how they make their money. That's another one, Core. When people own companies, you ask them, how does that company actually make money? I don't know. That's a problem. You should know how your company makes money. That was one of the things that
how do they acquire customers? How do they acquire customers?
One of the things I took from
what's their customer base?
It was the documentary "Smartest Guy in the Room" about Enron, right? When Enron was they was running a Boston on people, and they were stealing all that money. And they said the average person who was part of Enron as they were running up, couldn't tell you how they made money. They just knew the stock kept going up, so they kept buying it. But they had no idea how they actually made money. So a couple things, right? If you're watching this, I want you to really research your companies, understand how they make money, and understand who's in control of that money. Because Lance, who was on here a couple weeks ago, made a point. Her point was when you buy a company, you're pretty much you're betting on management. But if you don't know who the management is or how y'all make money, what are you really buying? Are you buying hype? So that's something to think about, man.
That's basically what you buying. You basically you in the casino at that point. Because people talk about being in the casino with a short-term stuff. When you buying a long-term company and you can't tell me nothing about that company and how it makes its money, how it acquires its customers, how does it, what's customer retention, all of these things that they tell you at the quarterly reports, and you can't tell me any of that stuff, that means you shaking the dice and you listening to everybody else and you not doing your own due diligence. And so, I don't really, I'd always tell our students at Bada Hood University, one of the things that I require them to do, if you're going to go to the company website. If the company website trash, that's a pretty good indicator that the company might be trash. You know what I mean? So you might want to go to the company website and go check on these companies, because if the company website is trash, there's a very high correlation that the company might be as. So just basic due diligence.
Yeah, shout out to our brother Spoon who's checking in. Spoon, what's good? How you?
Yeah, what's going on, Spoon?
Yeah, congratulations, man. I see you just had another little one.
Just had another baby.
Congrats.
Congratulations to Jose too, man. He posted something on his page about his college scholarship, where he's getting accolades from his college scholarship, man. And so I want to say, peace and blessings to my man Jose, and congratulations on your scholarly endeavors, man.
Yeah, congratulations, bro. Dahlia Stedman says right about what we're talking about. Jackie's checking in. Appreciate all the support, Jackie. Definitely food for thought. And let's see. Back at it, PA. Good point on the 10K, 10Q rather than 10K. That's like looking at a Carfax for a company. It's allowing you to look under the hood of the company. Listen, that's facts. And the thing is, it's right there. So one of the things we get when people come to our courses and buy our course, I get a lot of, tell me what to buy. I'm like, yo, you just bought the course. Like, you didn't even look at anything. Well, just tell me what to buy. I refuse to tell people what to buy.
Yeah, I already told you what to buy, the course, so that you understand what you're supposed to buy.
Yeah, Jose, good look. Yeah, man, you already know, man. Spoon checking back in on Facebook. Yeah, absolutely, bro. Rich, I gave you a shout out earlier, man. Rich called me when we play this week. I couldn't take advantage of it because I wasn't on that shit coin before, but salute to you anyway, Rich. Man, I love when people call me with some money, like, yo, you want some bread? Like, I love those kind of inboxes, like, yo, get some bread for you. So, another thing I want to talk about is tech overall. Tech is taking a beating this week, man. What's your opinion on what's going on in the tech?
Well, September is generally the worst month for stocks overall, period. But tech is taking an extreme ass whipping this month. And so, people was riding the tech train to the top, and they're probably riding the tech, the tech train back down to the bottom right now. So, this is why we talk about diversification and everything, is including your portfolio. But yeah, tech is taking they getting their ass whipped this month. Like the prices are taking they catching the George Foreman, they catching that right hook, that George Foreman punch right now. And I think they still got some falling to do.
Yeah, Dahlia says politics is playing a part. Like, and
because the election's coming up, because nobody know what to do. But this is generally the time. A lot of companies are going into their first quarter right now, and so money gets moved around when those companies going into their first quarter. Then you got people taking out that was on vacation, coming back from vacation, getting their money out of the market that they made over the summertime. So that's another thing, you know what I mean? So traders and investors, they normally, summertime is actually normally a cooling period for stocks, but it wasn't that way because of the COVID situation in March. But those same investors are probably following their same pattern and taking their money out of the market on in September.
Yeah,
Also, we don't got SoftBank, you know, sticking $40 billion
artificially inflating the market.
artificially inflating the prices. And so that's another thing that's probably causing these prices to fall. So there's a billion factors in that, but those are definitely three of those factors.
And Daya, I just want to say, great point, Daya, about politics and how that plays. I think that's also something else that we should stop and just talk about for a second, because one of the things I like about the stock market is it kind of gives you a different worldview, because when you actually watch the market and see how things play out, and then you see how politics affects it, you just look at the entire world different. Studying the stock market makes you look at the entire world different, and it makes you look at politics different as well.
Worldview change.
Yeah, so that's a great point, man. Don has said that he's grabbing more of his tech ETFs. That's right, Don. Team VGT. You already know VGT and MGK, baby. You already know.
Also, the other thing I wanted to talk about is sector rotation, because when certain sectors are up, other sectors are down, and vice versa. And so right now we're going through a sector rotation where certain sectors are, that sector rotation normally happens like a month ago, but like I said, COVID changed everything, but that sector rotation is also happening.
But see, well, I shouldn't say well, it is a problem to me. A lot of like the newer young investors that come through, all they want is tech. All they want is tech because of the hype around them, the stories. It's the sexy thing. They don't like buying the long-term boring companies. So when that rebalancing happens, is kind of a problem, right? Real quick though, let's get to these comments. Can we go back to the shitcoin for 1 second? I'll tell you what it was. It was a coin called Uniswap. So Rich hit me up and was like, "Yo, they're giving away Uniswap." So I was like, "I'll take advantage of it. I'll take anything you want to give it to me." But the problem was you had to have used it before to get some, so I couldn't get anything. And she asked a question about what about the banks signing crypto January 1st?
Oh yeah. As of January 1st, the banks is going to allow crypto for payments and becoming crypto centers where you can hold your money in the banks. And this is not January. This is not January 2031. This is January 2021.
That kind of bothers me a little bit.
It's not. This ain't. We believe this is the future. This joint coming down the pipe in a couple months. 90 days away from the banks being able to hold crypto, and at which point, I'm personally not putting no money in no damn regular bank, no crypto in no regular ass bank. But if that's what you into, you able to do it if you feel safe in that environment. The whole
that bothers me, man. Exactly. That's why it bothers me, because
crypto is to get away from that. And so I'm not trusting my money to no banks. The whole purpose is to unbank and get away from the banks. And if you know what I know, and you study what we studied, me and Jim studied, you know that getting away from that banking system and having the banking system control you is one of the very major things you got to do, which is why I dump a lot of my money in crypto, and he dumps a lot of his money in crypto and coins, because it's absolutely like, I could tell you some horror stories about what the banks do, but we only got an hour.
But my whole thing is like, when you study what crypto is supposed to be about, that goes against, like, it's sort of like Ripple. The reason why Ripple doesn't work, like, it goes against what the idea of crypto was, which is freedom, which is, like you said, away from that. So that kind of bothers me, man.
Crypto is supposed to be peer-to-peer decentralization.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons, I ain't gonna lie, one of the reasons I like crypto and I also like metals is because it's like a little bit of the rebel in me. I feel like I'm operating outside the system. But Spoon says the big guys are rebalancing. It's kind of like saying the same thing you said, and which is true. They definitely are rebalancing. What's Don saying here? If you're a long-term investor, no need to sweat. Great point. That's an absolute amazing point, and we gotta talk about that in a second. Get more of these comments. Reese, tech selling off in the sector and rotation. Tech is a big deal in the future. Don talking about some of the big boy non-techie ones. They like P&G, J&J, HD, Lowe's, any day of the week, and twice on Sunday. Those are all great companies in my opinion.
All of them, every single one of them.
I seen Kraken got the green
Kraken
light.
became a bank. Yeah, Kraken became a bank.
I gotta see that because they talked about this before. They always ask betting, but we'll see what happens with this one. I saw the article though. I don't mess with Kraken either, man. I don't mess with Kraken. Y'all already know how I feel about Coinbase. They the feds. But you know what I will say is this, man. There's some brokers out there that you can the crypto world is crazy. There's like street brokers out there.
But, it is.
You know, we'll talk about that offline.
Stated on the corner that will sell you some crypto like the pusher.
That's probably why they try to get rid of vending machines. I see cats loading up on vending machines. They charge a little bit more, but you go to the vending machine, then you know it is what it is. There's so many shit coins. I don't know what to buy. Dahlia, that's the reason why you stay away from all the shit coins. Just buy the big boys. For me personally, I'll be transparent about my this is not investment advice. None of what we're saying is investment advice. But what I'll say is this: in terms of crypto, I'm Bitcoin, Ethereum. I still hold on to some Litecoin, and I'm Jeff Tezos, and that's pretty much it. That's it. I got 4 coins, and I think I got a little bit of like DAI, which is like it's like regular money, but it's just some bread sitting in that. But that's it. That's it. Like 4 coins for the most part. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum. And the funny thing about Litecoin, I was telling someone in a group today, I haven't bought any Litecoin in years, but I'm still sitting on the Litecoin I had from years ago. But so Bitcoin and Ethereum is what I pretty much have my normal deposits going into.
I'm 98% Bitcoin and Ethereum. I don't I got some other coins like that I got for free, and then I got some other coins that was given to me when I because back when in 2017 when I was heavy into the crypto space, I was getting free coins just for like filling out surveys and shit like that. So I got a gang of little weird ass coins that I don't. I could be a crypto millionaire, but I don't know. Them joints.
I always take them, Johns. I take them and convert them. I always do because I don't want to forget about them like that. So I always take them and convert them most of the time into Ethereum. But that's kind of what I do. It's just too many of them, man. And for me, especially with like what's going on with DeFi, I'm just gonna hold Ethereum. The one reason that I got Tezos, you know what I'm saying, is because again, the same way I treat stocks, I treat crypto. And what I mean by that is I read the white papers. So I just don't buy coins because someone's talking about it. Like a lot of people just buy coins based on what's on Twitter. I don't do that. I read the white papers. And a lot of white papers, I see people holding these coins and I'm like, yo, did you read the white paper? That'll never work. That will never work. It's trash. What's the joint on Coinbase? And no shots at them, the little purple joint, OXT or something like that. I read their white paper and was like, yo, I'm done. Like this ain't I can't get jiggy with this. But Tezos, when I read their white paper, it made sense to me. And I was like, man, this is powerful. If they're able to pull this off, this is powerful. So outside of the big boys, one of the reasons I bought that was because of reading the actual white paper.
I like outside of those major ones, the one that I hold the most is Monero because it's a privacy coin.
Yeah, I saw. I got a point about that though. Real quick, Jackie Gray says the point of the digital coin decentralization. Period. No fake banks and government. Exactly. That is the point. That is the point. Jackie said that she is 100% Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's dope. And that's probably why. That's probably what I'm heading towards. But I do like the Tezos project. I can't lie. I like the Tezos project and the Litecoin. I'm not even buying any. I'm just sitting on it from like back in the day. But
I like the idea of privacy coins, which is why I started when I convert things, and I don't convert them to Bitcoin and Ethereum anymore. I convert them to Monero because I like the idea of a privacy coin.
And for the folks that like don't believe what I'm getting ready to tell you, go Google this. The IRS put a bounty out, right, for anyone that can crack Monero. So the IRS has put a bounty out. I think it's like 650,000. They're looking for a programmer that can figure out how to crack Monero because Monero is a privacy coin. So when people are putting money in there, like it's kind of like value. You can't see it anywhere. So the IRS literally put a bounty out. So you can imagine what kind of stuff people are doing by putting money in Monero, right? Like, on the black market, but even people that just like are, libertarians and want to control everything themselves. But the IRS literally has put a bounty out. I read that and I said, oh my God, that's absolutely insane. Getting back to the topic, yeah. So Rich just talked about. Rich just posted that too. They got a bounty on Monero. Exactly. That's what I was just saying. But getting back to the whole idea of long-term versus short-term, right? So Don gave us a lot of great things about those long-term stocks. And he also made a point that I want to make, which is because of what's going on in tech, right? First of all, we know we have a lot of new investors in the market, like what the media quote unquote calls Robin Hood investors, right? I think they tag that. Some people don't even use Robin Hood, but there's a lot of new blood in the market because of zero commissions and such, but they just call them all Robin Hood investors. So because there's so many new investors, one of the things that I've seen over the last couple of weeks is like how crazy scared they are. And I try to tell people to calm down, especially if you're in it for the long haul. When you buy a great company, when you're able to do your research, like we talked about, reading those quarterly statements, reading the information that they put under investors relations, when you buy a good company and you hold on to it, day to day doesn't even matter, right? So we do what we do in terms of like our teaching and the content that we create around that and all that. But there's days where I might not even look at the market intentionally. Like I'll get the itch every once in a while to see what's going on in the options game, even if I'm not trading anything. But there's some days where I'm just too busy doing something else and I don't check it, and it's fine, right? And that's because for the most part, I'm in this for the long haul. And when you're in it for the long haul, these swings really don't matter to you. And that's what I want people to see. Don't panic about this. Just look at history, right? History will tell you what's going to happen. That's the interesting thing about studying history. There's a great documentary on Netflix called Capital that I've been sharing with folks that I watched. And to me, the most crazy thing about that is they take a look at the history of what it means to be capital. That's intellectual capital, physical capital, like people as capital, honestly. But the more things change, the more they stay the same. You see things that have happened in history, and you're like, oh, that's going on right now. You see how bubbles are formed, how they burst, what happens when they burst, and all of these things, how government responds to things. You're like, yo, this has actually happened already. So with that being said, if you look at the stock market, and let's just take the S&P 500 as the measuring stick, there is not one 20-year period since its inception in which it's lost money. Not one. So, and it doesn't matter how you break this 20 years down, it's just not one, because over long term, it will go up long term, right? But the problem is you have people trying to like do short-term trading and use short-term thinking and apply that to like some things you're supposed to be in long term. So I just want to point that out. If you do your due diligence, and we talked about crypto on the show too, well, crypto, do the same thing. Please do your due diligence. The same way you look up a company, please read the white papers. Don't buy coins just based on seeing a hashtag. Read the white papers, because when you read the white papers, I guarantee you're going to look at some of these projects a little bit different when you see what it is they're trying to do. There's a lot of innovative people in the space. And when you talk to people in Silicon Valley, so much money is being dumped into that space. But there's also a lot of grifters out there who'll throw something together to grab a couple dollars. You know what I mean? We're gonna start like the Nikola CEO, but it's like 20 of them in crypto. You know what I'm saying? For the folks out there watching, please do me a favor, man. Hit the like button, hit the heart button, do something, man. Just please support us, man. As we have
7,000 coins, and I would venture to say that 6,500 of them easily are shitty. Easy.
Wow. I believe you.
I would venture to say it might be more than that. I would venture to say at least minimum 6,500.
I'm just reading the comments. Supreme Court Justice just died. Which one? Please don't tell me it's who I think it is. Oh, that's kind of scary.
No.
Ruth Bader just died. Ooh.
No. She was holding on. She couldn't hold on no more. She was trying to get out of here.
Sheesh.
Man, listen,
man.
The Democrats
that was a curveball.
The board did. The Democrats got to do what the board did. Did not get the justice on the jaw. The Democrats got to hold the line. They got to do the same thing that the boy from Kentucky did. What's the boy name? Oh man. Oh, the one. Oh my God, the senator from Kentucky, the House Majority Leader,
Mitch McConnell.
Mitch McConnell. Yeah, the Democrats got to do what Mitch McConnell did, because remember, a justice retired when Obama was in office, and Obama was supposed to appoint the Supreme Court justice, and the board just blocked the whole situation. So yeah, we gotta get that moving. We gotta hold on for 90 days. Not even 90 days. The election in like 45 days.
You think they're gonna be able to pull that off?
45 days? Yeah, you gotta be able to hold on for 45 days. it's gonna take 7 of those days to bury her. So
Cheeto gonna be in his bag, man. He
I
gonna
don't
be in his
care.
bag. He
Listen,
trying. He trying.
The
He
Democrats
gonna
gotta
try to get
ignore
somebody.
the screaming and yelling. They gotta
He gonna try to
ignore the
get somebody
screaming and
tonight.
yelling and do what they supposed to do and hold the line. And if he win, he still gets to elect the new person. And if he loses, I mean, then whoever comes in next gets to
Yo,
elect that person.
my man,
But anyway,
my man in his group chat right now trying to get something done tonight. Like he in his bag. But
yeah,
yeah, man.
he
It's
probably gave it a pizza to put it over the top.
yeah. He said he happy right now. Yeah, that's kind of
Yeah.
sad. But you probably telling the truth. You said he gave her the pizza to put. I ain't gonna comment on that one, man. Yo, couple other things I want to talk about though, real quick. We want to talk about DraftKings and Penn National Gaming. In their bag this past week. Everybody knows
man,
the two companies that I did
football is
invest
back,
in.
and that's the big betting sport. And those two companies, they made it. Those two companies and the hotels made out pretty well with football coming back.
So I shared
were,
it to my Penn National in the in our group, so people know that I bought I bought a couple lots of Penn National a while ago, but once that thing went up like couple 100%, I sold out of that. So I didn't participate in this write up. I sold completely out of Penn National Gaming.
Penn
DraftKings
National Gaming this year has gone from $18, $17, or wherever it was at. It's at like $70 right now. And and listen, 2 weeks ago, no, I'm gonna say about a month ago, it was $35 a month ago. So it's going up 100% this month.
Once I made over 100%, I sold all of it, and I held on to the DraftKings though.
You should have kept a little piece of that position, man.
I didn't. Well, I'm gonna tell you why. This goes into like what our show is, right? So sometimes, like for the most part, I'm a long-term investor. Sometimes I'll buy a couple lots of a company when they're relatively cheap, and I'll do that with the intention of running cover calls, but they don't play into what I see as being part of my long-term portfolio. So when I like more than doubled my money, I took that and took the resources that I made off of that to buy into stuff that like plays a part of my long-term portfolio. So because I made so much money doing those things, I was able to acquire more Johnson & Johnson, who got some not so good news this week. But still, the point is I bought more J&J. I bought more J&J, Coca-Cola, and Disney with all the money I made on Penn National Gaming, right? Because I just didn't see myself. And the funny thing is, I said it on their investor calls. I said it on the CEO call. Like when I buy a company, I act like, yo, like I really want to know what's up. Like I'll be on a joint raising my hand, talking trash. But DraftKings I held on to because it was so volatile, and the cover calls were like paying me so much that it was to the point where I damn near got the stock free at this point. But that ran up, so I did participate in that. I didn't get a chance to run a cover call this week. I explained why earlier. It probably is a good thing. I probably lost it. I definitely would have lost it.
You definitely would have lost. You wouldn't have ran it out to $55, man.
Not at all.
It's $55 this week. You wouldn't have ran it that far out.
I wouldn't have. I'd have lost it, but I would have ran the wheel though. I would have sold back in. I'd have got back in. But with that being said, both of them are going crazy. The NFL, played week 1. It's a lot of betting going on, so I'm interested. But even with DraftKings, right? Even though I still made the money with DraftKings, I still don't know how that plays in my long-term portfolio. That's something I got to think about and really wait a couple quarters. Sit on the calls, read the documents to figure out whether I want that to be a part of what I'm doing long-term. I still don't know, to be honest with you. Another story, Snowflake's IPO went crazy.
Yeah, that joint went berserk. It was supposed to come out at 75 to 85 was the original forecast for the joint. Overnight, they moved the forecast up to 120. I think it opened at like 220. Like it just went absolutely berserk. But if you look at who backs the IPOs, you can see why it went crazy. Mm-hmm. That's another thing when you're looking at these companies and their IPOs. Look at who's backing them.
Yeah.
Look at their funding rounds. All of that stuff is publicly available too for their funding rounds and all of that stuff. So look at these IPOs, man. Look at who's funding these IPOs because that'll give you a good read on whether or not the IPO will have some pop and some success at the beginning of its IPO, because those investors have invested like if you tell me that Elon Musk is investing in it, I'm going to buy that company, because Elon Musk invested in, he went from uh eBay to PayPal to 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 Tesla. All of those companies are super successful. eBay, I mean, which one of those? You know, PayPal is one of
Well,
the, you know,
he had his own company, which merged with PayPal. So
yeah,
he
yeah.
started PayPal. But
But he was a big investor in eBay. He was a big investor in PayPal. He was a big investor. You know, he's the CEO of Tesla. So he has a track record. He has a track record of putting his money behind successful tech companies. He understands that space very well. So if you tell me he put his money behind a tech company, and you tell me it's going to IPO, I'm gonna tell you it's going to pop over time.
what's interesting to me though, and again, I might sound like the old ornery dude, but like a lot of it is not even real, right? When you look at the PE ratios of some of these companies,
Oh yeah, it's dumb. The PE
it
ratios
doesn't
of these joints, every one
it,
of
it
these joints is bloated and overvalued.
it just doesn't make sense to me, right? And as someone who's been in the market for a long time, what I see from my vantage point is there's so much hype around these IPOs. Like IPO days used to come all the time, and it was like never a story. Now it's 57 articles, is like think pieces, is tweets, is so social media and just us being attached to each other the way we are and sharing information has changed the IPO game, right? And but the values are crazy.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying
that,
it's
that
just
that's
it's nuts.
that snowflake that snowflake joint that it went up to like 320 or 330
So my question
same
is,
day.
if Snowflake's going to do that, what the hell is going to happen when Coinbase and Robinhood hit that IPO?
Man, listen, you better shekel away a few coins right now. You might as well get ready to pay 400 a share out the rip. They coming in Apple valuation right out the rip. It's unbelievable, man. Like
And see,
but the thing is, another company with thinking about going public, GoodRx, came in. They're already making money. So the
yeah,
thing about a lot of these companies that come in with an IPO is that they come in, they're not even making money yet, and people are betting the house. Like Uber came in. Uber still hasn't proven that they can ever make $1, but the IPO was banging. Like the cannabis IPOs, them Jones went absolutely nuts when they first came in. The Tilray and the other Jones, whatever, I forgot what it was, but when they came in, them Jones went absolutely berserk. And so you gotta really,
but that's my point though. That's my point. My point is how much of it is real. Like you have a company like GoodRx. I'd be interested to see like when GoodRx they're already making money, but they're not going to pop the way some of these companies that aren't making money are pop. People are. Well, this goes to the difference between speculating and investing because they're just betting on the future. Basically, they're betting on the potential future income, which may or may not come.
everybody want to be on the foot on the at the very beginning of a renaissance. Say I got in at the beginning of a renaissance. Like everybody want to be at the beginning of Netflix and Amazon, and everybody want to be, you know, that person. So that, you know, that's why everybody come in at that place. You know, Zoom came out in 2019. Like Zoom started at $17. $17. If you grab Zoom right now, you sitting on a damn. If you grabbed a couple hundred shares of Zoom, you sitting on a, you know, pile of rubles like a goddamn dragon right now. You know what I mean? So it all depends. Like for me, my thing was Roku. When Roku came out in 2017, $17, same as like what's the name? I'm not getting the same return as Zoom, but you know, I know the product, I believed in the product, and they were very near making money. Like they're in less than 3 years, they're revenue neutral in 3 years. Most if you get an IPO and it's revenue neutral in 3 years, that's an absolutely amazing. If it comes in making money, that's even more amazing. That's absolutely ridiculous. Like if you tell me something like, you know, something like GoodRx is coming into the market, I'm gonna have to take a look at that because they're already making money. That means they didn't need the market to make money, because a lot of these companies use the market to make money. You know
That's
what
a
I
great. All
mean?
right, so let's get to some of these comments because I was getting ready to like talk about that because see, so Adai's making a great point. IPO is for day traders in her opinion, short term,
That's not necessarily
and
true, but
I think so. I kind of agree with her, and I know you disagree with that because I'm gonna tell you, and I'll explain why. Keep the rich richer, and Richard's laughing. He's probably laughing at what I said about Coinbase because Coinbase is the Feds.
they is the Fed.
I think these companies use IPO to get richer, play on the greed and desires, in my opinion. A lot of them do because a lot of them do
Yep.
that for them to get rich,
And to
but
pay
the
back
reason
their original investors. That's
the
is to pay back all of those original investors.
reason I say that I kind of agree with what she's saying is because, all right, a lot of those companies, how can I buy that as a long term investment if everything hasn't cleared up? Meaning that um we don't know what's what. If I'm buying future income and you don't have income right now, and your PE is off, at this point, I'm just completely speculating. So that can't. So if I'm speculating, that really can't be a part of my long term
But
thing.
but that goes back to what we said earlier about buying management, which is what I was talking about when you buy the IPOs.
Yeah, but a lot of times, like if you all right, so let's go down that line of thinking, right? I'm buying management, right? Most of the time, we don't understand fully who the management is because we haven't had quarters of reading statements. You have the statements that they give in order to go into an
But
IPO,
until but
they don't
listen,
have that track record of being a public company and being able to produce because they haven't become one yet.
but the thing is, so basically their management are their investment teams until you get to that point. And so that's why I was making the point about looking at their investment teams when
No,
when
understood.
you're looking at an IPO.
But here's
That's
the
why I
reason
was
I
making
say.
my point.
All right, but and I get that point. But also, when I look at every single one of those investors, whether it's Google, Elon Musk, some of the top of the line, they don't bet 100%. They don't have
They
to,
don't.
but there's I forgot the website, but you can go to the website and look at all the early funding rounds they have. And someone who may know it, you can put it in the comments. There's an actual site. I forgot what it's called. They strike out more than they actually hit. It's just that
Of
when they
course
hit, they
they
hit
do.
big. So the
Yeah,
thing
no.
is, you can go by that, but you really can't go by that. And a lot of times, a lot of this is poo poo. Like what happened to what is it? Slack
Yeah,
ran up. A lot of stuff runs up, but the thing is, what's it going to do long term when everything like fully has a chance to develop? So for me, I want something that's proven, right? And maybe this coming from real estate. I'm never going to buy a piece of property where someone says, "Yo, 5 years from now, this is going to make a ton of money." I'd be like, "Man, yo, get the F out of my face. Is it making money now?" Like, and I look at companies similar to that. Now, there's chance. Sometimes I'll take a chance. I believe in a product, like you said, or management, but I need management that's proven, that's shown me as a publicly traded company that you know how to handle, and you're even moving towards profitability. Some of these things never become profitable, and there's a lot of the stuff that Elon backs too never becomes profitable. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Coinbase drops at $400, I'm in trouble. What do you think about direct listing IPOs? I think that's interesting because you don't dilute the shares that are already there by going direct listing, and also you cut out that middleman when you do direct listing. You know what I'm
I
saying?
kind of like those because, but a lot of those directly listed IPOs are companies that are already making money, so they're cutting out the middleman. They don't need the money to go IPO. So I like a lot of those directly listed IPOs.
Yeah, give an example: CureVac, right? So Elon backed CureVac, and it was BS. Like he's a lot of those. But see, the media tends to focus on the home runs and not talk about the strikeouts because a lot of times when they hit big, and I get it, right? But if you batting 200, but them two hits, you getting grand slams. So I get it.
2 grand slams out of 10. You just drove in 8 runs and 10 at bats.
Yeah, man. So it's like, man, listen, I just for me, but that's why, like a lot of times in IPO day, that's why I tend to think, okay, as a trader, how can I take advantage of this, but then get out because I'm not willing to sit and take this ride when it's possibly going to be something that's unproven, may never work. I like to buy income. One of our slogans is buy future income. I like to buy income. So,
and that is definitely, that's definitely a way to look at it. There's nothing wrong with that. But again, there's nothing wrong with getting in on the front end if you've done your due diligence and your research.
Yeah, man. So, what I'd like to say, before we get out of here, and first of all, shout out to everybody who's supporting us and watching this and leaving comments. Like, everybody, we love all y'all and appreciate all the support. But I do want to, in closing, say this though. Just make sure you do your due diligence. We're going to hammer this home every episode. And that's what your coins, that's what your trades, your long-term bets, like the information is out there. Like, so make sure you read those white papers. For all my crypto people watching, make sure you read those white papers, right? Read them. Please read them. And read those 10Qs. Read those 10Ks.
Yeah,
because you'd be surprised, man. You'd be surprised at some of the information, man. And shout out to Spoon too, because Spoon put me down with a lot of stuff that you can do right on Thinkorswim to get a lot of that data as well. Because one of the things I like to do now is I just be sitting around trying to figure out where companies get their money from, right? And you can find out on Thinkorswim how companies are getting their money, because a lot of times what you think, how you think a company is getting money and how they're actually getting money, you know what I'm saying? Like, two different things, right?
Two opposite ways. You never know, like you know, but you don't know. I mean, you can see a lot of that in the balance sheet too, but you got to know how to read the balance sheet well enough to understand where they're getting their money from. So it's in their balance sheets too, on their 10Qs and 10Ks. So you can look at those balance sheets and see exactly where they're getting their money too. You just have to know exactly what you're looking for in the balance sheets.
Yeah, man. Like, dude,
it's all there.
Yeah, just please make sure you're doing your due diligence. Make sure that you're getting the information. And if you ever need help with it, reach out to us if you can't find it, because we'll show you how to go to investor relations and get that information, man. So, anything you're looking forward to next week, man? You got anything you're thinking about? Any trades? I know the new a lot of the, in terms of the leaps, a lot of the 2023s is out there now, man.
They came out on Monday, so you can get 2023 leaps. I'm not buying nothing. I told you my contract is in recovery mode, and until my contracts recover, like, listen, man, I'm not being impatient in selling my contracts down because I want to get into some new positions. I told you my new slogan is no FOMO, man. No FOMO.
No FOMO.
You know what I mean? So no FOMO. So we out here, we riding it out, because like I said, my contract's not down a lot, but they down, you know what I mean? And I want, because when they were falling, I bought backwards. So my contracts are down, 20 or 30% right now. But I want all of that. I want all that cake. I'm not putting nothing else in there. So that money, when that money come back, the opportunities will be there for me to grab something else. It's gonna be new IPOs, it's gonna be new companies out there, it's gonna be the same companies in whatever cycle they're in. And I'm not, and then it's gonna be whether it's later this month or early next month, when that money started coming through, because what's the name season, earnings season. The only thing that I'm not sure about, because if earnings season didn't fall in the middle of election season, I would be way more confident. But because and then with this news of Ruth Bader Ginsburg dying, I don't know how.
That's what I was. That's the point I was making. What I'm doing right now is I'm just stacking cash to make moves, right, for the election.
Oh, but that's why I'm not putting no more money in. I got cash on the side.
It's stack season.
I got cash on the side. Yeah. I'm definitely in stack season, but that's the point. I'm not putting no more money into the joint. I got money to the side, but I put a lot of money into the positions I have, and so I want to see that money, do whatever it do, whether the election moves the needle against me or for me, before I decide what I want to, But before I decide what I'm going to do with my new
again, I don't have only contracts I have now in terms of the options game. I have a 2022 on Ford, and I have, I think, 5 or 6 of those, and I have a couple, maybe 5 or 6 $6 Nokias that I think are 2022.
Well, I got some January 21s that though I got 4 different contracts at so I got a Microsoft, an Apple, I have Plug, and I have Pinterest for January 2021s. And so I have a Pinterest 40 call. I have a Plug 14. I have an Apple 175 and an Apple 200 call, and I have a Microsoft 240. I have a Microsoft.
Sheesh.
I had well when I bought it when I bought it, Microsoft was 220. So, and
Yeah.
then I've been buying back ever since. So, when
Well,
I bought it, Microsoft was 220.
Well, hold on. The point I was making is outside of those two, I'm not buying anything. I probably won't even buy anything in the long term. Other than what I have are automatically going to like
Yeah,
crypto.
I
Other
got
than
my
that,
I got my
other than
automatic. I got my
hold on, let me finish. What I was saying is this.
Go
What I was
ahead.
saying is outside of my automatic crypto and what I have going on a weekly basis to metals, I probably won't put anything in the market just because I'm stacking cash that comes in from rentals, and I'm also working on a flip now. So once I flip this property and I get a lump sum, I'm not going to put anything in the market, right? I got another I have another project. I have an apartment complex we're going to develop right after that. But I'm gonna sit on this bread because I'm gonna wait to see how this election plays out. Because I personally believe it doesn't even matter who wins, that things is gonna be a lot of opportunity in the market,
Yeah,
irregardless of who wins the election. That's just how I feel. Like if y'all let me know how y'all feel about this election, and for the folks watching, how you feel about this election and how it will affect the market. Like, do you think it's gonna be opportunities? Is it gonna be like go completely one way? Like, what do you guys think about the election and what it's going to do for the market? I'm interested to see how the folks feel about that. But so for me, I just want to sit back and try to build up a nice war chest to see what happens after the election. Because like I said, I think it doesn't even matter who wins. It's going to be like some opportunities. That's just my personal opinion.
no, for sure. Like, but that's why I said I'm sitting on. I got money sitting to the side. I do got my kids stuff on direct debit, so their portfolios are growing. Well, they're shrinking as far as percentage they're up, but I'm pretty sure over time is going to grow because their stuff is going to be sitting there for the next 15, 20, 30 years. So I don't really care about the actual prices of the stocks that I'm buying for them. You know what I mean? So their Jones just come out weekly and it just goes in, and then we on stack season. Like, the discipline of being able to put the money in regardless of where the market is. I love that.
Yeah, mad opportunities. Like it
Caesar
is now.
said it's bad opportunity now.
It is. It is. It is. But I just feel
Yeah,
like All right. So here's what Rich says. He says, I feel a pullback if Biden wins.
I feel a civil war if Biden wins.
Yo, shout out to Indiana, man. What's up, bro? He said there's gonna be plenty of food. We looking at the start right now. Right now, it's gonna be blood
Yeah,
in the street. Major sales to buy. Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking what you just said right there, AD. I'm thinking it's gonna be that, and it don't even matter who wins. It's gonna be that. You know what I mean? Shout out to Latoya. She said it's definitely a game of patience, right? So yeah, that's a great point. So yeah, man. So I think that's the move right now. Is opportunities now, but the approach that I'm taking is I'm taking the approach of I want to see what happens around election time. And try to make some big moves then. You know what I'm saying? See how things play out though. You know what I mean? Anyway, listen. So for the folks out there watching, we appreciate your support. Make sure you take a look at our podcast that we have coming up this upcoming Wednesday. Right? We talked to a brother from Concrete Comics. This is a brother who owns an independent comic book brand. And I think this conversation is important, but also amazing because the quality of his work. Literally, his books look similar to something out of Marvel or DC, but he's doing it independent on his own, and he's making the major moves. And we actually get a chance to talk to him as he's building up his company. So that drops this Wednesday. It'll be on all podcast platforms as well as our YouTube channel. Also this Sunday, we have the Black Wealth Project where we're teamed with the financial rebel Kamari Ellis, real estate coach Carter. We got real estate Tracy, and we got the Ivy investor Courtney. We sit at a round table this Sunday, and we're going to discuss Black billionaires, right? The idea of a Black billionaire. We're going to talk about Black billionaires that we have and our opinions of. Yeah, it's going to be our opinion of whether a Black billionaire actually even matters, right? So we're going to talk about that this Sunday at a round table. So and Latoya says, she said that's dope. Her brother is an animator. Make sure you watch as well. We appreciate that. Appreciate all the support. So yeah, take a look at that. Check us out this Sunday on the Black Wealth Project, and you can find that. We're going to post it on our page as well. our Facebook page and all of our socials, but it's also on the Black Wealth Project Facebook page. Other than that, man, I also want to send a shout out to everybody who copped the hoodie, right? So it's hoodie season. We put a post up about some of the hoodies that we have and the links in our bio for those hoodies, and people copped up. So whoever copped those hoodies out there, we appreciate you. Appreciate the support, and it's definitely hoodie season. And we got some fire hoodies. My favorite one is Deeds and Dividend Over Debt. So it's me.
Black Wealth is Black Power is my favorite, John. All of them say the same thing, man. We got to get this bread and put it together for the people, man.
It's right. It's all about the people, man. It's about sharing this information, man. For the folks that tuned in and left comments, we appreciate all the comments, the support that you guys give us, but also just to build with us on Friday, because again, I learned from a lot of you guys, and a lot of you guys I talked to even outside of Fridays. Like I was saying, shout out to Rich for trying to put me on some bread this week. When you build a community of like-minded people that are talking about investing, talking about business, that's very powerful, man. It's very powerful. So, hit me up personally. I'm at JW the Blueprint on every social site, Instagram, Facebook. I know Corey's at Above Average Savage. We're at By the Hood on everywhere. Make sure you hit the like button, share this video. We appreciate the support. And we'll check y'all back here live next Friday, but our podcast still drops on Wednesday. So just want to say thank you to everybody, and we'll see y'all then. Peace.
Peace.